ice cream, logical cream, flavors. Let's make a move, get away, what's your flavor? Tell me what it is again. What you like, get it twice, what's your style? Let's get crazy, let's get lit, let's get wild. Take you out, show you off, what's your flavor? Tell me what it is again. Anywhere in the world, take you mild. Show me the real, you go and let it out. Your flavor, vanilla minks on brown cones, rainbow sprinkles on your AP two-tone. I ain't about materials, is habitual for the inventor to get spiritual. I ridicule your decisions in the specimen. Make guys like me had to step up, be the better man. Baby, I know your flavor, green apple colored gators. I ain't a rich man yet, I'm gathering data. I'm saying.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy I, and we here on 95 South TV once again. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity, because without him, it would be no me or us on this platform. And secondly, I want to introduce my right-hand man, my Pippen to my Jordan, my Wade to my LeBron, however you want to look at it. My man Jacob the Great. What's going on, fam?
Oh, man, glad to be in the land of the living, man. Another day, another chance. And, you know, one thing we can do is get it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I want to introduce this queen, this lady, a classmate of mine. I've known her since the 9th grade. Always bubbly. Oh, it has been a long time, over 30-something years, or probably 30 years this year.
Yes.
30 years. Yeah, we just celebrated 30 years, but I've known this lady for a long time, and when I've met her from day one, she always had a smile on her face. Was always a joy to be around. And I want to, and she's doing great things. This is Stacey. So is it Sacko or Sacko?
Sacko.
Sacko.
Yes.
Stacey Sacko. You know what I mean? So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, did you hear me? Did you hear me? Did I lose him?
There we go.
Okay, you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. So welcome. So yeah, just tell me a little about yourself. I know you got the real estate going on. You got the hair salon and all this good stuff going on. So let us know exactly who you are.
Well, I am Stacey Sacko, and I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. I have a salon that's called the Ambiance Charlotte, and it's located off of Westinghouse and 77. If you know anything about Carowinds, I'm one exit before you get to Carowinds. So that side of town. Been doing hair for 30 years. Like he said, this is my old town friend, Eddie. From high school, and I've been doing hair since I left high school. And a year or two ago, I decided, why wait until I get older and try to move around and do something different? So what I wanted to do was go to, real estate school and get my license and try to help people achieve the home buying process. And let's get it. Let's go buy a house today.
Okay. So cool. So can you kind of tell us like the process and the process of buying a house? Like what's the kind of initial things you have to go through to try to get into it?
Well, the first process is having a mind to. It's a mindset, because you can have people, to sell you something all day long, just like, say like you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to do something different, change your eating habits. It's always going to start with you changing your mindset. This has to be what you want to do. But after you change your mindset and you can see yourself in home ownership, the first thing you want to do is get your credit score checked. See where you are. A lot of times we'll go to the mall and we'll get a Dillard's card, no shade to Dillard's, and don't mind getting that checked. But a lot of times we need to get our own credit check at the FICO scores. You need to determine your budget. How much do you want to pay? Nowadays, we are really, really paying a lot in rent, so we can really afford a home. Because it used to be rent was cheaper. It's not cheaper anymore. So we're going to determine our budget, because you don't want to have a house that's your house poor. You're going to get pre-approved. I have some lenders waiting and available to get you pre-approved. So you know what you can afford. Then you're gonna find a person like me, a real estate agent. And that's when we get the information from your lender and we know exactly how to shop, because there's no reason for me to show you a $700,000 home and you're only pre-approved for a $300,000 loan. So, and then you want to think about location. How far do I want to be from my job? How far do I want to be in the city? Do I want to be only in the county? Do I want to be in a community that has HOAs? You know, and so what is it offer? You're gonna get home inspection, and you're gonna get an appraisal, because those two are very important. And then after that, you'll be ready to get your home owner's insurance policy roll, and then we'll be clear to close. So it's a very simple thing. I talked to some of my lenders. A lot of people don't know you can get pre-approved at 580. Now, it's just like anything else. If your score is low, that means your interest may be high. You're going to be in the mid sixes or the sevens. But if you have 620, that's like the magic number or above, you can get in a conventional loan. And if you want an FHA loan or a VA loan, you need to be at least in the 620s to get a decent interest. And then if you need down payment assistance, you're going to need to be at least 620, or I've seen them have it done at 580. So it's a great process, but I think education is key. A lot of people have never seen their forefathers, their mom, their parents own a home. So a lot of people feel like it's impossible, but it is possible. It is doable.
Okay, so do you think it's easier now or harder now to get a house? Like, as far as what you've experienced?
Like I said, I go back to the mindset.
Okay.
If you look at it hard, it's going to be hard. But we know through Christ, we can do all things, right?
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
have to change your mindset. Because I'm telling you, if you say you can't, you're not. So it's like we will buy a car because it's instant gratification. I get to get this car, drive off the lot, even if it's a bad interest rate. At least we got what we came here for. Buying a home, you have to be responsible, and you have to look at, okay, can I afford this house? Because it's not just for 5 years, 60 months like a car. This is an investment. That's why I say you have to look at it differently. It's not just a place you're living. You have to look at it differently. Average person lives in a home 8 to 10 years, and then they normally buy another house or they rent that house out and then do something, do something else. So it's an investment. That's how you have to look at it. You can't look at it like, oh, it's a hump on my back. But anything is possible. Anything.
Got you. So basically, let's just say you got a prior foreclosure on your credit. What's the workaround on something like that?
There's some exceptions that my lenders have told me about. I think you want to say it's between 2 to 4 years that foreclosure was on there. There's life under divorce. A lot of people that's been divorced, I've been divorced before, you get a lot of bad credit because a lot of times when we get married, we're entangled, we're meshed together. You know what I'm saying? So if he stopped paying or she stopped paying, you're going to get some backlash off of that. Or if you separate, you may not have been able to pay that and you had to experience foreclosure. So
what about not to cut you off, but what about like the foreclosures on like timeshares? Because I know a lot of that's a big thing with the timeshare foreclosure.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of credit repair that I have access to that you can probably, negotiate getting that taken off of your credit. But I would definitely I'm a realtor, so I'm not a credit repair person. So I would definitely point you in the right direction, because a whole bunch of people that I know had those foreclosures on the timeshares.
Okay, cool.
That was a big scam back in the 90s.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back on 95 South TV. Now we back. We back on 95 South TV with my man King Jacob and the great realtor herself, Stacey, in the building. So
Yeah.
Jacob must jump in and start asking some questions.
And I do have a few.
Oh, I hope I can answer them.
Now, Miss Stacey,
Yes.
you're a realtor, and I'm pretty sure you've sold a lot of homes since you've been a realtor. So for you, when people don't understand about the equity in the home and how much equity they can pull out of the home, what is those conversations like for you with your clients? You know, that already been in their home for 15, 20 years. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, knowing what you want to do with it is very important. You have people that want to improve their homes, home improvement loans, HELOC. And then you have some people that's pulling it out for, like I said, different reasons. I've seen a person pull out equity and buy another property.
Right, right. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
so a lot of times, in our mindset, people pull it out so they can pay off bills. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So my thing is getting back to this mindset. How did I get here in the first place? Is this really going to help me if I take this off of my house and pay this bill? A lot of times it starts with us. How did I get here? And some things need to go back.
Right. And so I know I heard somebody say that they was telling somebody, they said, they COVID kind of messed them up. They couldn't go to work and stuff like that. And they was like, man, what you mean you can't go to work? You had that house for 26 years. You got equity in the house, don't you? Man,
Well, let
pull
me tell
some.
you what happened with COVID. And,
Hmm.
and this is what's going on right now. We're
Hmm.
experiencing the backlash of COVID, looking at how much all this, the grocery is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all of that. A lot of people during COVID took a forbearance that they didn't pay their mortgage for almost 6 months to a year.
Hmm.
That didn't go away. All they did was you had to remodify that loan, and now they put that into your loan now. So that's why a lot of people, and you think about it, anything you do over what is it, 7 days is a habit. What do they say? 30 days is a habit, something like
Uh-huh.
that. So just
21 days.
imagine, yeah, what was it?
I think it's like 21 days after 21 days.
After 21 is it's a habit. So
Hmm.
imagine not having a mortgage for a year. Do you want to pay it now?
Mm.
Got a point. You got a point. You got a major point.
You get used to that. I
Right.
mean, because you think about it, we was like in that bubble. Life was not gonna stay like that. A lot of people didn't even want to go back to work because they was used to working from home.
Right.
You start in that rut. So that's what happened. For a lot of people that lost their homes, and I hope the economy can turn around a little bit better for people. But I think informing them on the front end is what's important.
Hmm. But there is a few good programs out there, and I'm glad that we got you on this show to really talk about owning homes and stuff like that. So I know you got the Future Homeowners of America. I
Yes.
know you have for people who want to have homes but also have land. You have
Yes.
the Future Farmers of America, which they are tied with UDSA, and there's a lot of agriculture loans that you can get to buy the land and the homes, especially with you being a black woman. It's only maybe 2% black female farmers in America, and they're giving out those minority black female loans like hand over fist right now. You know,
Absolutely. And
and
you see, Kamala said she was gonna give us 25,000.
yeah, yeah,
He
she
said
did.
that.
So, and then there's a new program because I have a buddy right now. He's about to own. He's about to have a whole duplex. He went through the NACA program, and so are you familiar with the NACA program as well?
I am. And that was a class you had to go to. You had
Right.
to go to that class because, like I began this conversation with, it's a mindset. So the class was teaching people what's important, how
Hmm.
to budget. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to just give you a house and they ain't change this
Right. 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 Right.
or
Right.
help
Right.
you. You know, they had the Habitat for Humanity. You actually went in there and helped build your house. You remember that one?
Right. 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 Yes. 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 And
Because the mindset is, if you put some work in, put some, you know what I'm saying, some, what is it, elbow grease in,
hmm
maybe you will stay in that home a little longer or care
that's
for it better.
right. 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 And then they they also have the single mother programs, the single father programs, and and they also have the family programs, where you buy your first family home. You know what I mean?
That's
So it's a lot of different programs out there that people can get involved in. But reading is fundamental. Oh my goodness,
yeah,
reading is so fundamental. You got to take some time to study and read.
it
And
is.
once you study and read, then there's a lot of doors that open up to you. So, now another thing that you are, as my grandmama used to say when she was living, baby, that's my beautician. Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh
so,
yes.
so, with you being in the hair and beauty industry for so many years, um, how have you seen it evolve? And are some of the things that you see now, you be like, nah, or 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 have you kind of evolved with the times? Because I tell people when I was growing up, I ain't never heard of no quick weave. You know what I'm saying? You know when I was growing up, I ain't never heard of no crochet braids. I'm like, what?
Oh,
Hey,
it's evolved.
these
It's evolved.
braids now, I'll be like, huh? I don't even try to keep up no more. And whatever
Yeah,
you want
man.
to call
Well,
it,
y'all
call
know
it.
the Jerry curls is coming back, right?
Oh
The
Lord,
who?
The
yeah,
Jerry curls is
yeah,
coming
You
back.
talking
Lord,
about? You talking
Lord.
about the soul glow? Oh man.
No,
Yes, sir. It's
they're not
coming
gonna
back.
come back with that. They're not gonna come back with that spray, is they? That
Look,
spray.
it's so funny because I knew it was coming back. Because I mean, when you go into the hair store and you're seeing this this bohemian looking hair, oh yeah, it's on the way back. But
Okay.
they're coming back now. I think they're calling them something else. Now I can't remember what they're calling them now, but they're not calling them Jerry curls. But I want to say it's like a J curl or something, and they're like $500.
Oh my.
Mm.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean, well. Kudos to the hair designers, the beauticians. Get the bag, get the bag. I
get
ain't
the
mad with
bag.
you. Get the bag. So now, with all the things the textures your hair that you've seen and stuff, have you ever just kind of said, "Let me go into my mad scientist mode and let me bottle some stuff up that can really help people hair and stuff"? So, have you ever got into that product branding category?
Well, let me just say, hair is not a job for me. It is such a passion. Um, that is my passion. If I didn't get paid for it, now I want to get paid for it. But I mean, if I didn't get paid for it, I would do it. I have done hair on vacation. I mean, it's just something that relaxes me. Now, this is the way I have seen it evolve. And this is what's crazy now. I'm from back in the days. 1994, I started doing hair. And I had my book. The book was tied to me because if somebody called you, you had to flip through pages and make sure that you can get them in there right there. You were always tied to your phone. Now I have a website you can go to and you can book online. That has freed me up so much. But I still have my older clients that's gonna call you while you're at a soccer game and ask you, you got anything for Tuesday at 3? So stuff like that. You still have to reach those people. Another way I've seen that it evolved that I'm not too game for because I have never had that problem is when you're booking, they're having booking fees. So it may be a $25 booking fee before you can even book with the person. So that's the one things that I have seen that they are doing now, and the price is phenomenal. Um, as far as what it used to be, you used to be able to get a relaxer for $45, and a cut for 55. Now everything is a la carte. So shampoo is this price, relaxer is this price. You know what I'm saying? So everything is a la carte. But I kind of stick to old school. I enjoy my girls, and I always tell them it's not just a hair appointment. We talk about things that are going on in life.
Okay, well,
So
keep that. Hold that thought. We're gonna
okay.
take a quick break, and I'm gonna come. We're gonna be right back here on 95 South.
All right.
Okay, we back here on 95 South TV with the great hairstylist Stacey Sacko. And Sacko, I'm getting it right.
You got it right.
Sacko, yes, Sacko, the good hair. So guys, we back here. And we talking about her career in real estate and her beauty salon. And Jacob, go ahead with your thought. You had a thought.
Okay. So this is what's interesting to me about the hair business. I've been to quite a few hair shows. The Bonner Brothers in Atlanta had shows through all South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. Some hair shows in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Pompano Beach, Florida. So what's so what's so what's so interests me about hair, right? We have transformed braiding hair to something different.
Yeah.
Black women that braid hair they are never not busy.
Yeah.
Like you try to date a black woman that braid hair. Y'all might plan a date for the for that Friday, and y'all might not be able to go on a date for 2 months from now. Because unless they just set that time aside because they so booked up. Because you got the kids, you got the college kids, you got the adults, you got the local celebrities. You know what I mean? That do a photo shoot every other Friday. You got so many people that want their hair braided, and you got different braids. You got the box braids, you got the micro braids, you got the crochet braids. You got so many forms of braids right now. So, are you a braider as well?
I'm not. I do not braid hair. I don't do anything that's contrary to the health of hair.
Okay, 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 okay.
But I want to speak on being excessively busy. I do one head at a time. I can have my ladies in and out in 35 minutes
Oh,
because
good for you.
I do blowouts in 35 minutes because my grandmother told me a long time ago when I used to go to the salon early and come home late. She said, baby, you can't do but one head at a time. And she said, and everybody on God's green earth has a head, and you can't do everybody's head.
That's true. That's true.
And
That's
so
true.
I applied that to my life because that's true. You are not human if you don't have a head, right?
Ask you this, Stacey.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. One, I'm gonna ask you is when it comes to like expanding, because think about Atlanta, it's bad down there. I don't know how bad you never heard how bad it is, but a lot of I don't know if it's because of this generation or what's going on, but a lot of folks down there don't like to do braids. They don't do certain braids down in Atlanta, so it's
I
hard to
don't
get.
do braids because braids are running you $250, but it's gonna take you some hours to do that,
Yeah.
right? It's going because you're gonna have to be on that head, and if it's $250, it's probably gonna take you about 5 or 6 hours. Okay, unless you got two people on your head, and a lot of people don't like that. I just feel for me, some people are hair care, natural hair care specialists, and I use them. I have had my hair braided before, but me, I feel like I can make more money with multiple people versus being on one person.
The reason why I ask you that is because, like, in barbers, like I know of like a few barbers and they might have 5 or 6, 7 barbers in Atlanta. So I know you don't do the braiding yourself, but have you ever thought about making expand like Atlanta area and then have somebody running it down there and then you just try forth when you can to check on it or whatever you got to do.
I have a guy that's in the salon with me, and he does the braids.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you're interested in braids, I just pass them on to my guy. But as far as franchising, doing multiple things, I would love to do that. But like I said, one thing at a time. I have a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 17-year-old. I'm about to
Okay.
get cut loose.
I know. I know that. Let me ask you this question, because something y'all was talking about earlier in the conversation. What sets the market on the pricing? So I always wondered how that goes. Is what sets the market on when you start having to go? Like, is it like I guess a salon or a beauty thing protocol that when the prices go up, then y'all have to go up, or how does that work?
Well, that does have an effect on it. But, my thing as a good hairstylist know that, just give you an example, this costs $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to charge my client, a couple, double it. So we're going to charge the client 20. That allows for any adjustment in the price. Now, the prices now, when they go up astronomically, like during a COVID, a lot of our relaxers, chemicals, couldn't get shipped in. There was a shortage. It was a shortage of employees. So therefore, supply and demand, that means that this product is going to go up. So then I had to share that with my clients. But I believe that you should charge what makes you feel good, what you need. Because
Okay.
I don't want to look over the fence and be like, oh, she's charging $1,000 and I'm only charging $5.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
you don't
so
want to do it that way. Do it
yeah.
because you want to do it. Do it, you know what I'm saying? Do it because you need an increase. Don't do it
Yeah.
because everybody else is doing this.
Gotcha. So get back to the real estate part of it. Did you get into real estate during COVID or like after COVID? Like seeing like, okay, well, because of COVID, I don't know if your business had to slow down because of it, and I need to do something else to kind of fall back on. So when did you actually get into the real estate side?
Well, I got into the real estate after COVID, and my business never slowed down. Thank God. I mean, he covered me and my clients. That's my prayer every day, that they stay employed so that I can stay employed. Because it's a triple, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got into real estate after, but I've been dreaming of being into the real estate market since probably 2008. But I never had time because I had small kids at that time. And like I said, getting back to balance, I just knew that if I did that, it would take away from something else. So a lot of times it's time, it's timing. That's why I said in the next 60 months, y'all watch out. I have a lot of time.
Now you don't know my cousin, do you? Because I got a cousin named Ebony that does. She's have a salon in Charlotte, and I know she could teach school out there in Charlotte. So I don't know if you ever ran met
What's her
her.
last name?
Eb Jones.
Ebony Jones. I'm gonna look her up.
Yeah,
And she has a salon.
yeah. She go by Ming Lee. That's what she goes by on Facebook. But she actually, I think she teaches now. Or whatever. Beauty school. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna look her up.
But yeah, she's out there in Charlotte, whatever. So basically, like when it comes to getting back to this real estate thing, I know you saying it's all about a mindset, but for you trying to get somebody in a home, what has been the biggest challenge for you?
I think the biggest challenge is everybody prejudges it. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because they haven't seen it, and it's very unfortunate that it is 2025 almost, and people have not witnessed in front of them people doing that. I mean, I'm farming Wadesboro. Have you heard of Wadesboro before, Eddie?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
farming Wadesboro. I'm farming Monroe, that area,
Got
because to live in Charlotte with a budget of 225 is close to impossible. All things are possible, but it's close to impossible. What I mean is you're going to have to do on the outskirts of Charlotte, because Charlotte has just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talk about places like Are you talking about places like Huntersville?
Huntersville, Troutman, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a commute, because you think about that area in the next 20 years, it's gonna be looking like Charlotte.
You're right.
So that's my whole thing. I say I'm trying to farm that area because 10 years from now, Charlotte is gonna get closer and closer to Monroe. It's doing it now. So we have to make sure that we're jumping on these properties because even if you can't afford the house, buy the land. I found 3 acres of land, and I want to say it was $30,000. But we'll go buy a car for 30,000.
Yeah.
When we can sit on some land, land is king.
And now we're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna see where you at on this. Ask you a quick question about
Oh Lord, you gotta make me nervous.
No, I ain't gonna make you nervous about our hometown. I'm gonna ask you a question. We'll be right back here on 95 South TV.
All right.
Okay, we back here on 95 South TV. So I want to ask you this. Because I know my sister, you know my sister Latoya.
Yes.
And so I know she's big
How's
on.
she doing?
Oh, she's doing real good. That girl travels. She barely in the country anymore. You know what I mean? But I want to ask you a question because I know she's gone back to Moore County and been looking at land, and she even I think she's gonna put a duplex over there on the west side, right there off.
She is a realtor?
She's not a realtor. She just.
No, I said, does she have one?
I don't know if she has one in North Carolina or not. I have to ask her.
Okay.
I'll ask her about it, and if she doesn't, then I'll let you know.
Okay.
But she definitely, because in Moore County they doing a gentrification thing, and I don't know if you've been on the west side of Southern Pines where you see houses coming up, and these folks is buying up property and putting up houses out there. So, do you know much about the market out there? Because I know the market is blown up as far as pricing and getting into homes and stuff like that. So, do you know anything about the market?
Okay, so this is my opinion, and maybe I'm just reaching. First of all, let's talk about the market out there. It's changing. We see it all day long, but it's been changing. We don't go to townhome meetings. They tell us those townhome meetings is changing, like you just said. Reading is fundamental. Did you just say that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It will let you know that we're gonna put a highway in 10 years here. What their project, what they're projecting. So we don't go there. We kind of stay in our house. A lot of times, because you just think about the west side of Southern Pines. The west side, you got the same kind of basic house. I'm talking about the older houses. There was like the same kind of basic house. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Some of them had a garage. Some of them had a carport. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. You think about, what's the name of that street? I can't think of the name of that street.
Okay.
As you would drive up into, it's like the back part of the projects, off of
you talking about Rodney Avenue?
Right, exactly. So we used to cut through there all the time. But if you look at those homes were brick homes. You know what I'm saying? But they were like 3 bedroom, 2 baths. You know what I'm saying? Some of them had 1 bath. Just look at it like this. This is my thought. Was that like the beginning in that era? You feel what I'm saying?
Probably. So, a lot of based on, they say, the crime and just trying to cut the crime or put them all, basically, like they say, is, you know what I'm saying, lock us out, so to keep us out, so you keep us in, type deal. You know
exactly. Exactly. And the thing about it is, like with me, I feel like any way you can get in, just get in. If you have bad credit, guess what? You're going to have to get to raise your credit score. You may have to get that 30% card and play with that until you can raise your credit. Just get into the game. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, even if you have to go on down payment assistance, okay, because down payment assistance is designed because it has a cap on it, right? Down payment assistance may say you may have this loan based upon with a cap of $250,000. What is telling you, I'm going to keep you in this 250,000 area.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't go
Yeah.
to a nice area and afford 250,000.
Mm.
In essence, I'm keeping you in a zip code because these houses are 250,000.
Wow.
So later on in life, guess what? They go back to that same zip code and start gentrifying. That's what's happening now.
So let me
Mm.
ask you another question, Miss Stacey. I heard somebody say this right here. It was on somebody's YouTube channel, and I believe he was from Elkhart, Indiana, and he
Mhm.
said he a black guy. He said, "I blame us for gentrification."
I do
And
too.
he said, "Oh yeah," and I was in the comments saying, I said, "Oh yeah, elaborate." He said, "I blame us for gentrification. Not all of us make it out, but several of us do make it out and become wealthy,
Yeah,
rich, and we
yeah.
don't do nothing to come back and build up the neighborhood, so people would want to be there, or we don't partner up with uh with a Volvo or a Volkswagen to build a plant there or something like that, so people can make 25, 26, 27 $7 an hour, so we can put money back into the city. But when they move us out and move us to the suburbs and put those high rises in there where that we can't afford, we have an attitude, and that comes from that we don't know what's going on with the zoning system. We don't
Yeah.
know what's going on, even in the education system. We know that most of these schools got over $30 million in grant money just this year in 2023.
Mhm.
And
30
so
million.
it's
Say it again.
30 million in grant money. I know in my town they got 38 million.
Yeah.
Mm.
So so
And,
so
let me just stop. Let me just pause you right there. And how many of those granite schools is allowing that big old red bus that come with the books on it? They're giving books to our kids, or do we still have to buy them?
you have to buy everything now. Everything. And I'm like, how do parents have to buy all this stuff? And you just got $38 billion, $38 million, excuse me, in grant money.
Yeah.
Like that makes no sense. And
It
we
doesn't,
don't
but we
know.
don't show up to the meeting.
Right,
We
exactly.
don't ask the
Exactly.
question. We don't ring
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
bell, you know?
And then another thing with you being a real estate agent
Mhm.
is I believe you as a real estate agent that they should have realtors to come to the school to teach. You know what I mean? As far as how real estate goes in effect with the STEM program.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because there's a lot of things through realtors that the kids that's involved with the STEM programs can learn. You know what I mean? As far as the science and technology,
Did he pause?
the economics and mathematics. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You
So
just
so
paused a
it's
little bit. I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
okay. I said it's a lot that the kids that take the STEM program, that's a part of the STEM program, can learn from realtors as well.
Yes.
And I was hearing these kids talking about asking what class they're taking. That was like, my last class is entrepreneurship. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, so it took us 30 years after we graduated from high school to get an entrepreneurship class.
Yes.
This is
Mm.
But, but,
ridiculous.
but, but see, I'm gonna tell you, I feel what you're saying because, like I said, it starts with your mindset. But it's our responsibility. It's
Right.
our responsibility. I mean, it's like even with we have two girls that work, and I told them you need to live off of 30% of what you make because that's what the credit cards say. 30% utilization. If
Hmm.
you can get to 30% and put that 70% to the side, you'll be good.
Yeah.
Mm.
But what I'm saying is a lot of times we push the envelope. I'm gonna get this, and this, and then I'll figure it out later. That's where we go wrong, but we have to change our mindset. It's so important that we change our mindset
So
because
let
if
me
you
ask you something.
Mhm.
Let me ask you something else, mistakes. That means, because let me ask you something else.
Okay.
Now I heard this white guy say,
Mhm.
they was talking about financial literacy. He said he told his 6 boys
Mm,
that they are to never own a debit card. He
mm,
said that a debit card is the biggest ripoff when it comes to Americans trying to acquire wealth. Do you
mm.
agree or do you disagree?
Well, I have to get some more information on that because I'm
Well,
trying to figure out how you gonna access your money. Are
well,
you
what?
saying go get cash out? I mean,
No, no,
that's my
that's not what he said. And I feel like he was talking to black people. He was saying, he said, I
question.
told my son black friends that this is a ripoff for you guys. It's been ripping black people off for a long time. And he said why? He said because if you understand how your personal credit works and your business credit works, and understand
Yes.
that most people who understand credit never own a debit card because they live off of their credit. They don't
Yeah.
even use cash. They pay everything with the credit cards, and just when that statement comes, they pay that statement, and then the credit goes up and goes up and goes
Mm,
up, and then the business credit. The first line of credit is $30,000. You put
mhm.
about 8,000 back into the trade lines, and then another 90 days you got another line of credit for $70,000. And he said that's what he was saying. He was like, once you
That makes
understand
sense.
how
Yeah.
credit works, and
Hmm.
once you understand that you don't need a debit card to sustain, then you know um, your life is so much better, and you set yourself up and your kids up for a lot more generational wealth than even using a debit card, because a debit card is just a card with some money on it from them for them to use your money to trade in the stock market.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
Before you answer that question, we're gonna take one last break so we can close out. I hate to cut it short, but we are on the timeline. But we're gonna take one last break. We're gonna close out. I'm gonna let you answer that question. We can close out. All
Okay.
right. Okay, we back. We head back here on 95 South TV. I'm gonna let Stacey close out, have closing remarks on this and anything else you want to say. And I enjoyed this time. I
Yeah.
do want to say that it was crazy when you said about $250,000 thing credit line for your house, because I said, shoot, that's a whole nother way to slow us down. They may give us the credit, but then like you said, they're gonna give us just enough to keep us where we still at. You know what I mean? It won't let us
But
grow.
see, but let me tag on that. Use the diving board, because if you look at your house as an investment, you can get into that $250,000 home, chill for a couple of years, 5 years, and then you know what I'm saying, sell it. It's what they say, it's checkers, not chess. I mean, it's chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's you can use that. That's how you can get into the game. Because you think about it, we started off with a Honda Civic. Now we made it to a Cadillac. Now we're trying to get into a Tesla. It's just a catapult. So don't look at it as being negative. But if I can only afford a 2-bedroom, stop buying houses for everybody.
Mm.
Stay in your means.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
now I'm going to sit in this right here because God gave me this little 2-bedroom house. I make sure it's clean, pressure wash, and make sure I keep my insurance up on it and pay my HOAs. Just give me an example. In 2 years, well, not 2 years, in 5 years, I can put this house on the market and move it to something else bigger because now I have cash. The
Mm.
first time I had to put 3% down because I went with an FHA loan. When I sell my house, I may possibly have $20,000 that I can put down on a bigger house.
Mm. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I really
Yeah,
do. I wish we had more time, but we are on the timeline. This is a TV show, so
exactly.
we are
I
limited on our time.
I can. I do
Huh?
propose. I do propose that we do part two to her. Part two with
Okay, we
her.
definitely got to
Yes,
go part two. So
absolutely.
shout out the Village Global Network, State, Kimmy K, and Senior G. Shout out to our 191 countries, Guam, Germany, all Russia. just to name a few, and Zeno FM. Also our other affiliate radio station that broadcasts our stuff. So I thank you for coming on, and everybody just follow her on her Facebook page, and you just keep up if you want to have any questions for her, and you keep doing what you're doing, and just stay high blessed, my queen.
StaceySacko.com. Let's go buy a house at gmail.com. Well, sorry. Let's go buy a house today at gmail.com. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate y'all. And y'all be blessed.
You as well.
All righty.
We out of here.
Brown skin girl, and she knew I was out to go and clear my mind. The girl she